If you are a fan of slimy, gross, and wiggly things that crawl under the skin, you are in for a ride. The movie begins with an infected person running away from the police, trying to shoot him down. But either they aim terribly, or the guy is a superhero, because they miss every shot. The man stops as he arrives at a beach. For a brief moment, we can see something moving under his skin. Then, the man decides to take a nice bath that completely dissolves him, like cotton candy. We then find out more about the plot. In 1989, scientists on Cuttyhunk Island created a parasite that hatches from artificial pearls, and they used that parasite to enhance humans and make them evolve even more. Terrible idea, if you ask me. Naturally, everything went downhill, and parasites began to change people. So the island inhabitants began fighting against them, killing anyone infected. We jump to present day, where a group of people is heading toward Cuttyhunk Island. Our main protagonist, Jamie, inherited a property from her dead uncle worth $2 million. So now she's on her way to see it and prepare it for sale. Jamie brought her sickling brother Justin, boyfriend Marco, and best friend Kristen. Jamie's friend Sarah, who lives on the island with her baby, gives them a ride. As the group passes by one house, we go in there and see a couple getting ready to sleep. Their daughter shows up, infected and full of slimy worms, who then attack the mother and the father, who tries his best to smash them, but there are just too many of them. The group arrives at the property, and they start exploring. Jamie finds a bunch of dolls, and when she touches one of them, she gets a flashback to her childhood and her mother. Then we see that Kristen is interested in Jamie, as she is goofing around and draws him a pair of mustaches for no apparent reason. The two of them go to the room they will share, and there Kristen tries to flirt with Jamie, who acts dumb and goes to sleep. The next day, Kristen goes for a run and sees a funeral procession. However, she doesn't notice that someone is stalking her from behind. At the same time, Dr. McAvire and his assistant are doing an autopsy of an infected body. The doctor leaves the room, and a parasite gets out of the dead body. The assistant doesn't see him because she is dissolving parasites in salt water, which is the most deadly thing for them. The doctor then meets with Mayor Larkin and Sheriff Jake, revealing that the doctor lured Jamie to the islands because he thinks he has an antidote for this horrible infection. Then they find out that the assistant is infected, and the sheriff dispatches her immediately. Jamie has another flashback, and in it, her uncle talks about the antidote. And before we get some exposition, Larkin shows up and breaks Jamie's flashback. He tells her that she can't sell the property to non-islanders because it's prohibited by local law, and she offers you $75,000 instead. He tells you to think about it and then leaves. Marco then suddenly finds a safe under the bed's mattress. Don't ask me how he knew. Justin tries to chop some wood, but he is terrible at it. Kristen shows up, and together they go to hang out at a nearby lake. Justin goes for a swim, and he barely evades a roaming parasite. Then he starts making out with Kristen. The parasite gets into his foot and infects him. Jamie and Marco find a bunch of pearls, a doll, and a VHS tape in the safe. They play the tape and see Jamie's uncle working on parasites. Kristen shows up and tells the couple that Justin is unwell, so they leave when the outbreak is shown on the tape. They take Justin back to the house, and Jamie goes together with Sarah to find help, while Kristen stays with Justin. Jamie and Sarah don't notice that someone is following them. They arrive at the nearest house to get help, but no one answers, because the only person living there is being eaten by parasites. At the same time, Marco is cycling around trying to get a phone signal to call for help. Justin wakes up and tries to seduce Kristen, but she is not in the mood. She then informs Jamie and Marco that Justin is awake and that he is feeling good. Later, Justin wakes up again, but this time to the sound of a ticking clock, as it seems now he has super hearing. He goes for a night walk and hears the sounds of Jamie and Marco making love. Justin then returns to the room and takes Kristen's glasses before going out. As you know, the drip is essential. He arrives at a local bar, looking like an idiot. He immediately approaches a girl with the worst and creepiest riz. However, she finds him attractive for some reason. Maybe the infection emits some seducing aura. Justin touches her, and the girl's boyfriend intervenes. Justin tells him the girl is interested in him now, and the situation escalates. They go outside, where Justin turns into Steven Seagal and beats the boyfriend and his friends. The boyfriend throws a pebble at Justin, who then breaks the asphalt and grabs a piece of it, ready to break some heads. But the girl convinces him not to do that. He takes the girl into the woods, and they start making out. The girl suddenly has second thoughts about it, but Justin doesn't take no as an answer, so he rips her throat out. The next day, Justin wakes up, and Jamie brings him breakfast. They talk about their parents, but suddenly, Justin starts feeling sick. He immediately goes into the bathroom and throws up a bunch of parasites. He acts like nothing happened, so Jamie can think that he is feeling good. During a walk, Kristen finds a graveyard of infected people who got dispatched. As she looks around, she can see that the stalker is chilling behind her, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. At that time, Justin is chopping wood better than ever. He starts splitting them with his own hands. Then he tries out his strength by punching a poor tree that didn't do anything wrong to him. After he teaches it a lesson, he sees a parasite sticking out from his wound, and he pulls it out like it's something normal. Marco shows up and nervously asks if he can propose to Jamie. While listening to Marco, Justin hears Kristen's screams in the distance. He tells Marco he has his full support and then quickly leaves. Kristen is running away from her stalker, giving her best to save herself from inevitable death. But today is not her lucky day, because the stalker catches her and gives her a kiss with his parasite tongue. Marco approaches Jamie to propose to her, but he is overthinking how to make a move. Larkin and McAvire show up, asking questions about Justin and if he is sick. Jamie tells them that he is better now, but Dr. McAvire tells her that it's just a phase of infection, and he lists all of the symptoms that Justin has. Then they show the couple the sunglasses that Justin wore last night and a picture of the girl he killed. The couple leaves to find Justin. Larkin, McAvire, and their militia follow them. Sarah carefully watches everything from her living room, and we see that she is also infected. Then Jamie gets kidnapped by the mysterious figure without anyone noticing. The militia and the others find Justin holding Kristen's body, and they get ready to dispatch him. But Marco intervenes and gets killed. Justin then starts killing militia members who are clearly incompetent fools who don't know how to use firearms. One member even drops his rifle to go into hand-to-hand combat with Justin. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for him. Larkin shows up together with McAvire and Sheriff Jake to destroy the infected bodies with salt. Then McAvire gets infected, and the sheriff does his thing. Jamie wakes up and finds out that her kidnapper is Uncle Mason. He is infected and plays cool tricks by pulling parasites out of his face. Jamie gets another flashback from which she finds out that her mother has an antidote. Mason injects her with the virus to force her to hand over the antidote, but she refuses. Back in reality, Jamie frees himself, grabs a prototype antidote, and escapes to the hospital where she hides. However, Mason shows up looking for her, and he gets close to finding her. But then Larkin appears, and he starts arguing with Mason. Jamie uses that chance to escape. Larkin attacks Mason to protect Jamie, but being infected, Mason is much stronger. Luckily, Jamie shows up and pours salt water on Mason, which melts his face completely. Jamie and Larkin escape to Larkin's car, where he tells her that he saved her when she was a little girl by sending her off to the island, and that he was always on her mother's side. He also reveals that Dr. McAvire was trying to lure Jamie with suggestions of inheritance on the island, assuming that Jamie would carry the antidote with her. The two of them then find Sarah's car and discover that she is now fully infected. Jamie saves the baby, while Larkin takes care of Sarah. They return to their car, and we see Justin observing them from a distance. Jamie and Larkin arrive at the laboratory full of pearls containing parasites, ready to be shipped worldwide. Larkin gives Jamie a gas tank to fill up a boat to escape. Justin appears, and Larkin throws salt at him, hoping to defeat him. But Justin is amped up because of the infection, and he kills Larkin. Jamie pulls a sneaky one by releasing an empty boat and distracting Justin. She takes the baby and escapes in another boat. Justin begs her not to leave him alone, but Jamie is not in the mood to hang out with her brother anymore. After some time, we see Jamie and the baby in the boat in the middle of the sea. Jamie sneezes, and parasites fall out of her nose. She rinses her hand in the water, which badly burns her skin and flesh. She gives a doll with an antidote to the baby and kills herself by jumping into the water. The boat roams through the water, and luckily, a Coast Guard ship finds it and saves the baby. We then fast forward to a jewelry store in Seoul 6 months later. A woman wants to return her pearl but doesn't have a receipt, so the employees tell her that she can't return it. In anger, the woman smacks a glass showcase, and the pearl cracks, revealing the parasite. The movie ends there. If you enjoyed this movie recap, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to see more of these, subscribe to the channel and check out our other videos.